All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into a very special AEW Double or Nothing 2024 predictions panel episode of BCP Plus. Guys, very excited to be back doing another prediction panel. We got a big month, May, lots of wrestling. So I had to bring the all-star, all elite stellar panel back. And guys, please welcome back to the show. You know him as lay editor-in-chief of thepopbreak.com. He is officially a BCP Hall of Famer. He gets more handsome every time. This is why you're the editor. Every time he comes on the show, please welcome back hashtag Dad Instincts, Mr. Bill Bodkin. Bill, what's up, Bill? Welcome in. How are you, bro?
What's up? You would think I've done like 500 podcasts and I'm trying to share a live stream and I would have muted my computer and you wouldn't have heard the reverb on the live show because I'm a dummy. But it is great to be back here. Rob, I was on the first AEW show you ever did when we talked about the Jacksonville press conference. So it's really cool to be back 5 years later. So only a couple things have happened in the world since that time. So it's great to be on here with this stellar panel talking about AEW.
Yeah, man, I'm not ignoring you. I'm doing tech over here. Good stuff, Bill. And that was with John Alba, I think, when we did that one.
I think John Alba and good brother Kenny Pete.
Good brother, all good brothers. I love it. In the chat, hi, Amanda in the chat, Amanda Rivas, BCP contributor as well. Calvin,
my co-host, the socially distanced, of course. Yip, motherfucker. Let's go.
Let's do it. Calvin in the chat. Bill, she just put Bill LFG. Calvin in the chat saying, "Oh man, we got Bill, Kimmy, and Toto Atom." No, and I'm here too. I kid. No, we got the whole panel.
Come on, it's like by default. It's like you understood. It's the Bob Culture podcast. Look, it's not the Bill Culture podcast.
Not yet. We know who the star of the show is. It's Champ. It's Champ at all times. Guys, and please welcome back. It's Kimmy apparently. Please welcome back to the show. You know her from Kimmy Talks Wrestling, thepopbreak.com, the BCP, Maria Canales' personal protege. She's a agent, promoter, getting people from the airports, whatever she needs to do. She knows everybody. She's got the inside scoop. Please welcome back to the show, Miss Kimmy. So cool. Kimmy, you're so cool. Welcome in. How are you?
I have too many inside scoops. I think that's why my media career is slowly coming to an end. But yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Are we getting scoops today or
no?
Gotcha.
No.
I got it.
That's for me and selective people only. Rob.
That's it. That's okay. I got you. I don't push. You know the deal. We'll see.
I can make an announcement on here if you want, but
okay. All right. We'll see if we get a little BCP exclusive. Have some fun with it. And thank you, Kimmy, for joining. And guys, please welcome to the show, making his debut. Of course, you know him from the Front Row Mafia. Got to shout those guys out. You know him now as the co-host of the weekly debuting ISPW Wrestling podcast. I'm excited for that one as well. BCP Plus contributor, one of the head honchos over in Totowa, New Jersey. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Totowa. Tom, welcome in. How are you, sir?
You know, a couple of years ago, I met you, and you said you should really come on the show. And I remember telling you that I wasn't worthy, and I didn't deserve a spot on your show. And I felt that way. But I think over the last couple of years, we've become friends. I like to think you as a friend.
Appreciate it.
Since we've been working together with ISPW and we've appeared at various Busted Open events, and I'm always the first in line.
Yes, sir.
And the 5-star caller on Busted Open, as anybody who listens to that show will tell you. And it is my honor today to finally be on the Bob Culture podcast.
Hey, welcome, Tom. And we're glad to have you here. And of course, shame on me for not saying first in line. Tom, you do such a great job with everything over in Totowa. We appreciate your help. Totowa Day, we'll put that over in a little bit. In fact, Totowa, Tom, let's do it right now. Real quick, talk to us about Totowa Day real quick and the podcast you got coming up. We'll let you plug it right now.
Well, we have Totowa Day 5. This will be the 4th year that ISPW will be headlining. We get about 2,000 people at these events. It gets bigger every year.
Nice.
It's an outdoor event. I really appreciate what the wrestlers do and Tommy Fierro because they donate their time.
Yes.
You know, they're doing it for us,
Yep.
and it's really great. And you know, I can't thank them enough. The only match that has been announced so far. Well, let me give you the date first. It's June 8th, which is a Saturday, and it starts at 3:00. It ends at 9. But it's not just wrestling. it's a party. It's a huge event. We have a beer garden. We have food trucks. Last year we had a Ferris wheel. We had a mechanical bull. We had axe throwing. Um, we have bouncy rides for the kids. We had bands play as well, and we ended it with one of those light shows. I don't know if you've ever seen it before. They have these light shows now, which
the
drones, what do you call
right?
that go up into the sky?
It's like the drones.
Drones.
Right? Yeah,
the drones. Yeah. The drone light show, which ended the night. It was fantastic. That was a special occasion though last year. That was our 125th anniversary of Totowa. We're not doing the drone show again this year. We got to scale it down a bit. But it's June 8th, and the main event, I've been told, it's Ray Kalitri, the ISPW heavyweight champion, taking on none other than GKM, the former ISPW heavyweight champion. So big main event.
Love me some GKM. Love me some GKM. Shout out.
There's also a rumor that yours truly will be the ring announcer for that main event.
Really?
Yeah, that's what Tommy has been saying.
Awesome. Well deserved. And thank you for doing that. Thank you for all the wrestlers donating your time. It's a super fun event, man. It's like a carnival, like a fair. Thousands of people, man, just surrounding the ring. Such a good time. Looking forward to it. So thank you for putting that over. Let's get into our AEW picks. Guys in the chat, let us know who you got. We want you to be a part of this as well. Let's go with, you know what? Since the way the show ended, you guys want to talk about perhaps the Anarchy in the Arena match?
You want to start with that? Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, he's getting spicy with this one.
Yeah,
he's getting spicy with this one.
There were a couple things that popped me up on this episode. So we got
was it the giant flamethrower?
Yeah, that was. You know what? That I would put yes in that category. Yeah, for sure. I'm like, is he gonna light a table on fire and maybe because wrestling, of course, and throw someone through it? But that was an interesting way to end it for sure. And I think that's a little bit of foreshadowing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that returning during the match. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Of course, it's the Elite versus Team AEW. Bryan Danielson taking that massive chop today. Dang, man. Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, and Darby Allin. This should be a lot of fun. I've been somewhat critical of Matt and Nick. I like what they're doing. I like the story behind it. It makes sense. I don't know if I necessarily buy into the characters. It's almost like they're overact, but again, it's wrestling. But it has been interesting. It's created for some interesting moments and storylines. I think, you know, my big thing is I've always been this way since day one. And first of all, 5 years at AEW. Congratulations to everyone involved. The business is better because of it. A lot of my friends have jobs because of it or opportunities because of it. So 5 years, that's awesome to have. So first, hats off to them on that. But and then I turn the page. I've been very consistent in the factionism and the mixing of teams and all that. I guess storyline wise, this has to make sense. You got Bryan Danielson and FTR and Darby Allin returning. It's going to be really good. It's just an interesting mix here for me, and that's where I kind of start nitpicking. That being said, at the end of the day, the result is going to be a really good, really fun match. I think I'm going to go with the faces to win here to kind of agitate the heels and have the Bucks kind of take it to the next level and really ride out this EVP evil collusion storyline. So I'm going to go with the face team to win here. Bill, tell me why I'm wrong on everything I just said.
Well, because factions have been a part of wrestling since longer than you and I have been alive.
Fair enough.
So I mean, there's the one thing I know you're like Team AEW doesn't make sense, but it makes all the sense because Darby Allin has said like, I'm going to stay in AEW for life. FTR has been like, besides being rivals of the Bucks, have been huge proponents of AEW. And then there's Bryan Danielson, who decided on his birthday to wrestle Satnam Singh in his first Dynamite match ever. So, I mean, if that guy's not all in on AEW, I don't know who is. And it would have been Eddie Kingston originally, which makes sense too. So, and they all hate the Elite. I think this is going to be a wild match. I wonder about the Hangman Page of it all, because I think he's been gone for a while. I don't know why. Kimmy's like, I know every reason why he's not there, and I don't want to know.
I don't know that.
Okay, well, I would love it to see if he comes out and it's like, which way will he go? And then he goes against the Elite. Uh, and that's going to cause some issues because, well, who else is against the Elite? Swerve Strickland, as we saw tonight. And who hates Swerve Strickland? Hangman Page. I would love to see that. Christopher Daniels, I think, gets involved as well.
You're right.
I think there's a lot of things that are going to happen here. And I agree with you, actually. I think the Elite will lose due to outside interference. I guess you also couldn't rule out MJF coming back as a cameo, although he just seems like severely hurt. So I don't think that's going to happen at all. But I mean, for him to show up and swing a bat or punch someone in the face with his good arm and not get back in the ring yet. I mean, we've seen other people severely injured do that stuff. Listen, Adam Cole walked to the ring as pay-per-view. I mean, like, who knows? I do think Team AEW is going to win this one, though, to continue this feud, because we still have Blood and Guts to go. And I think Blood and Guts will be a different variation on this team.
All right, 2 for Team AEW. Good stuff, Bill. In the chat, JVD saying, "Boo this man. He does not like you, Toto Tom. Don't let him push you around like that."
I was gonna say me. I was just like, well, yeah, I'm not talking positively about WWE. So I mean, sort of the BCP crowd.
I'm usually the one that gets booed. Let's be real.
No, you get booed by Vicky. Come on.
Yeah, she's my boo. Nunez in the chat say,
"Fuck off."
Noon says, "Love all of your beautiful face." Speaking of beautiful faces, Nunes is here, and then the chat is just blowing up with Nunez, and then Amanda in the chat saying, "I'm wondering what craziness Darby Allin will bring to this match." Yeah, very interesting. Total with Tom. Any thoughts on this match? Do you also have Team AEW winning this one?
No, I'm against that. I think that the EVPs should be winning everything and as clean as possible until they go to Wembley. That should be where Team AEW gets their revenge. I would like to see somehow Tony Khan get involved at this pay-per-view. Maybe okay, so I said clean, but maybe Khan gets involved somehow and it causes the EVPs to win because Team AEW saves Tony from further injury, something along those lines. But I would just keep going with the EVPs. I don't see them. It's kind of like NWO, right? I mean, we saw what happened to the NWO in the late 90s. That they just rode that train until it didn't run anymore. And I would do the same.
All right, fair assessment there, Toto Tom. I like we bring to the table the Tony Khan of it all. I always really respected the fact that he wasn't on camera outside of the announcements, which makes sense. So it was an interesting choice. I didn't hate it because, hey, we're talking about it, you know. Would I want to see him involved in this match? I feel like if it is relevant to the story, which it is, and it's executed well, I might be here for it. I kind of like
he was in the car.
Yeah, well, right, and that was a nice. You know what? That's as much as you just brought that up real quick. That is a huge point. He will show up. I think you're right. He will show up. Very well played. Hell of a debut. We're already one match in. Toto with Tom making a statement here. Kimmy, any thoughts on this one? Do you think Tony Khan gets involved? Do you think Hangman shows up? What do you got?
So this pay-per-view is all about publicity because there's a TV deal that has yet to be signed. So all of the big things are going to happen on this pay-per-view so they could sign a new TV deal. So all of the big things are going to happen. Mercedes is going to win her title. We'll get there. Tony Khan is going to appear because remember, at the draft, you know how much publicity AEW got from Tony Khan in the neck brace?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's money. That's what Tony Khan needs because this company is still not profitable. And he needs to fix that, which is why he's trying to get as much money as possible. Crazy thoughts. So yeah, Tony Khan is going to get involved. He'll like punch one of the Bucks in the face to help Team AEW win. So then they're all standing in the main event, like raising Tony Khan's hands up, like, yay, we saved AEW. Oh my God, this is such a great moment. I also I need to see Darby in that match because I do not believe he's wrestling. I think they're going to attack him either at Collision, Rampage, or before this pay-per-view, and Daniel Garcia, not biased, is going to replace him because at Collision last week, Daniel Garcia saved Team AEW. And I don't think they did that on purpose. I think they did that for a reason. So until I see Darby in the ring or in Vegas, I don't believe he's wrestling. And Team AEW is going to win, and this will be the main event of the show. Let's just hope they don't trash another building, because that's why they got kicked out of Team Global.
Oh wow, good stuff, Kimmy. Very in depth. I like, I'm a numbers guy, so I like a lot of the stuff that you're saying. I think, and the more you guys talk about it, I really feel Tony Khan's getting involved because of what Tom said, but also because it's literally called Team AEW, so it makes a lot of sense. I don't want to see him punch or do any sort of offense, though. Like, maybe if he has, like, a weapon or something where he doesn't have to do something, because, it's like you don't want to see him do an offensive move because then you get all the criticism and stuff like that. So I would rather him not do anything like that. The Darby Allin thing is very interesting. So if that does play out, you heard it here first. Good stuff. Kimmy, great job.
You know what they could do? They could do is, like I was saying, Hangman, he's my guy. So, of course, I don't want him there. Is you take Darby out, and then so they're like, okay, we're going to go with Garcia. And then the Bucks are like, oh, you can't go with Garcia. He's booked in the 0 hour. We have him wrestling 3 guys or something like that. He's in some sort of match. He can't. He's going to fight Samoa Joe, or he's going to fight someone that's going to take him out or keep him occupied. And that's when Tony Khan's like, okay, you own him. Here's the Hangman. And then Hangman comes out. And then you have that huge pop for Hangman coming out to be a part of that. Now, that would be pretty cool. I don't know if it'll happen. I would love to see Daniel Garcia get his moment in the main event. But yeah, I could see them breaking out Hangman because they need him. They need Hangman. Hangman is Sting to AEW. He's the heart and soul of it. Whether, anyone could say they're the face, but he is the heart and soul of it.
I agree.
Yeah,
just not in this match. There's another match that he'll come out.
And I was going to say, like you said, Kimmy, I agree as well, man. It feels, in recent weeks, it feels like something's, and I almost used the word heart, like something, like it's missing something from when it started, man. And I'm not knocking the product. Like, for me, it was just 8 o'clock Wednesday. I made a point to sit down, have dinner, and I find myself kind of falling off. And that's life. I have a dog. I understand that. But more recent than not, and I know there's not, a lot of the same people there. A lot of things have changed, and you need to make changes. And I feel like it's missing. I don't want to say heart. It's something like that. And it's interesting that you brought up Hangman. Maybe that's what it's missing. That's just how I feel personally.
Yeah. They're missing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't catch that for the last 5 minutes,
sorry.
There are people who are. If you look at something with the AEW, what got a huge reaction tonight? It was the Death Triangle reuniting, right? And so it's like these original AEW things that people love. I think that's what people want to see. And they don't have MJF, they don't have Britt Baker, they don't have Jamie Hayter, they don't have Hangman, and they don't have Kenny Omega. So it's like those are people that people in AEW love, and you can, God bless Adam Copeland for everything he does, but like he's not that guy for them. So, I think that's why I think they get behind Willow Nightingale and other people. I think the AEW crowd is starting to, those people closely associated with WWE, they're like, you're not our guys or not our gals. But we'll have to see about Mercedes, because that's yet to be determined.
Yeah. Good stuff. And I think that's fair analysis. Shout out, Tom, we got to shout out Busted Open. If you guys listened, I think it was today or yesterday, they talked to JR, and JR was very honest. He's like, hey, we need to create new stars. Frankie Kazarian came on. He was very honest about the positive and negative. So check that out over on Busted Open. But really, really fair assessment. And of course, MJF always brings a lot to the table in terms of promos and storytelling. I always enjoyed his segments. So very key players, and they're certainly missed for sure. Real quick, Kelvin in the chat saying, give me a Tony Khan destroyer on the apron. He also says the Elite have to win this match. It kills whatever they're trying to do with this story, and people hate them. Give them the nuclear option of Hangman coming back home to the Elite. Yeah, for sure. Good stuff. Randy in the chat saying it's feeling like WCW to me. A man in the chat saying, I was about to say AEW is missing a little of what the original AEW brings. People miss the AEW homegrown. Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head, Amanda. Bubba in the chat saying, very well said, Bill. As always. Let's talk about the AEW women's...
One thing.
Yes,
Bob,
please. Of course, Tom, please.
Move on,
Yep.
I just don't want to miss the fact that I saw one of the funniest things ever in the main event tonight when that table spot just disintegrated right on TV.
My heart sank.
It was
Yeah.
so funny, and I don't like to point out those things, but
Yeah.
I was just laughing. It was hysterical.
It happens, man. Yeah. And they rolled with it real well. I think Danielson was directing traffic, calling some audibles out there, and it was the right move. They really no-sold it in the best way possible, and it was the right move. And
it also happened to like Sanjay, who's just a dopey manager. So it's like, it wasn't like poor Satnam, who looked so nervous during that match. Like, it didn't happen to him because, man, that would have ruined him. It happened to a manager. So I think you could be like, okay, well, they could boo him. You can make an angle out of it. You can make a gimmick out of it or something like that.
Yeah.
You can say he's the strongest man alive. Because he broke a table with just the touch of his hand.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's the T-shirt right there. Well said, Bill. Let's talk about the AEW Women's World Championship. Timeless Toni Storm defending against Serena Deeb. Great to see Serena back and healthy. I'm going to be short and sweet on this one. Lock of the night. Should be a good match. Toni Storm, lock it up. Lock of the night for me. I think she retains here. Kimmy, I know you mentioned maybe some... them pulling out all the stops, so maybe there's an opening here for someone to appear or something like that. We'll see what they do. I'm actually going to throw it to Toto Watam first on this one. Then we'll go to Kimmy. Toto Watam, first of all, we both know who the real timeless one is. Let's just get that out of the way real quick. But who do you got in this match?
Well, who is that? Because I have no idea.
Crowbar.
That would be Crowbar from ISPW.
Oh, come on. He's the best.
Love me some Crowbar.
I have an issue with the match tonight.
Okay.
They turned Toni Storm face and Serena Deeb heel. There is no way a face runs into the ring and hits a heel in the head with a shoe and then puts a chair on top of her and then puts her in a half crab. The crowd was booing. They didn't like that. So basically, poor booking, whoever the agents are back there making these decisions. That is not how you want to go into the pay-per-view unless they're turning Toni Storm face. But that was not a typical heel face moment today.
Fascinating.
And yes, Tony's going to win.
Okay. Fascinating. And you said you have Toni winning?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, she is the greatest single character I think that AEW has ever devised.
Okay.
And they took a page out of the WWE book.
Interesting.
I mean, she is phenomenal right now.
I can tell. I didn't mean to cut you off, Tom. Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
I was going to say, man, it's interesting what you said right there, because what you say on paper, it makes sense. But and you're that old school thinker, you're that old school. It's you always hear it on Busted Open too. Got to shout them out, of course. But like, I kind of feel the business has evolved. I don't feel like it. Oh, and this is just me personally. I don't feel like it always needs to be like good versus evil, the Star Wars. And that's very important. I just feel like it doesn't always need to be that. Serena Deeb, I feel like I've known more as a heel. Obviously, like with the return and everything and overcoming stuff, definitely more of the face in this role. But at the end of the day, man, and I've learned this on the independents, like someone said this to me, like at the end of the day, the crowd decides, no matter what, the crowd decides who heel or face. And Toni Storm, very popular. So you bring up some good points, man. It'll be interesting to see how this match plays out and who really turns out to be the heel. And maybe they're both heels. I don't know. It should be very interesting.
Well,
but go ahead, please.
Long-term booking-wise,
okay.
Mariah May is there for a reason. I mean, it goes back to like an old, 50s movie where the actress is like the shining star and the woman that she's bringing along gets jealous of her and wants to be that star. It's crystal clear what they've been trying to do. It's just been working so well that they haven't decided to go in that direction yet. And I would milk this thing out for another year before they have Mariah and Toni go one-on-one.
Yeah, good, fair assessment. Real quick, just catching on the comments, and we'll throw it to you, Kimmy. Everyone's saying, yeah, Toni Storm, resounding Team Toni over here. All Tonys in the chat. Real quick, Frank Knight. Frank, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well, brother. AEW needs Scott D'Amore. No more WWE veterans hired. Bringing the young indie guys or some former NXT stars. Yeah, they've given a lot of indie talent some jobs there. I would love to see some more. And that roster's pretty big as is, but I'd love to see some indie talent get some opportunities. That's what we're all about here on the BCP. Kimmy, what do you got for us here?
No one cares about this match, and it's so sad. And that's the truth. You saw that 2 weeks ago in Deep. Yes, Bill, how may I help you?
No, I care. I mean, I care about this match.
You're
That's what I'm
you're
saying.
you're one of one. One of
Yeah.
one.
Hey,
So
I'm unique.
the fans showed down the promo 2 weeks ago. Deeb is out there. I texted Bill this. Deeb is out there cutting a promo about how she came back from all of these seizures and all these horrible things. Silent. Where's Tony? They did. Serena Deeb should not have been the challenger. She shouldn't have. They need to build her back up a little more. I would have rather see her wrestle Athena, to be honest. I felt like that's where she fit in a little bit more. And with the way they were booking Anna Jay every single week, this should have been Anna Jay's moment. She would have lost anyway, but they were building her up. So this should have been Anna Jay, or they should have ran back Deonna Purrazzo. They don't care. In my opinion, I had a chance, and I'm going to say this later. I had the chance to go to Vegas. I was asked to go. This match and the Swerve match turned me off from going to Vegas. And that's why I'm going to Boston this weekend instead. Because this doesn't interest me. Tony's going to win. Britt's going to come out. And it's going to be magical. And with the whole Mariah May thing, they'll turn Mariah probably around full gear. It won't be a year. It's going to be a quick 1-2.
Okay.
But how would you have felt tonight? How would you have felt tonight if when she grabbed that shoe and hit her in the top of the skull with it, that she's the one who bled instead of Will Ospreay in the first match? Anytime you get hit with a gimmick like that, I mean, there's no blood. Come on. I mean, I would have saved the blood for that match. I would have made that angle make you care about the match, because you are absolutely 100% correct when you say nobody cares about that match. You're right. But there are ways to get people to care. And I think they missed it tonight. If they were going to go and do what they did to Toni Storm, they should have went the whole entire way.
I mean, or they could have actually built Serena Deeb up for a couple more weeks instead of just having her get 3 wins. And then remember we had rankings? Remember Tony Khan introduced the rankings in January?
Yep.
Where have they been?
Right.
Oh, right. Tony only does it when it matters to him. And that's not even me being negative. That's a fact.
Yeah, he's hurt now, though. So
I like this, Kimmy. The gloves are off, Kimmy, and I appreciate it. I like this. What you're bringing to the table today, calling it like it is. I think
Tony Khan's hurt. He doesn't have time.
I'm trying. Nice.
That's why I tweeted that I'll book Ring of Honor for him. I'm still waiting for my text.
In the chat, I agree, Kimmy. Yeah, here come the Kimmy chants right now. I think I'm trying to be fair, like play devil's advocate. Like, yeah, maybe it shouldn't have been. First of all, glad she's healthy. Glad she's back. She was at Warriors a while back. She was just pleasant with everybody. Critiqued a lot of people. I have nothing but good things to say. Definitely a deserving challenger at this point in time, though, Kimmy. You bring up a great point, and I'm trying to think, if not her, who? And Anna Jay, there's a case for sure. Now, Double or Nothing is like their marquee event, right? Or am I off?
Kind of.
I think Double or
Technically, it's like a big 4.
Yeah, it's like the first, right. So, yeah. I think Deonna running it back may have been the choice, but they're going a different direction. It's tough. It's really, really tough. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. Guys, let us know in the chat what you got. And this is why we go to Bill last, because Bill has all the answers. He's ready to go. Help me out here, Bill.
Well, Rob, I found it hilarious that you're like, oh man, it all depends on who they're fighting if they're a heel or a face. Because I remember a few years ago when Bryan Danielson and Hangman, you're like, this is stupid, man. Why is Bryan Danielson? He's a face. Why all of a sudden is he a heel? Holy shit, how time changes. I just had to call you out on that because I'm like, evolution, my friend. You're getting there. No, but I also like to break your balls all the time, but in a loving way. If I didn't break your balls, I wouldn't care.
Yeah,
they had to call an audible on this one because of the Deeb promo that people are very happy she's back. They had the video that came out and they're like, the vignette where she's like, I overcame all this and now I'm back. And everyone was like, this is awesome. She's back. She's a great wrestler. And the way she got over, and I don't understand why they went this route with trying to make her a babyface when it was like very obvious that she's very Dean Malenko. Like, she is a great wrestler. She does not talk. And it's like she gets over with the crowd by being super aggressive. And that's what she was tonight. They called the audible and she got booed. That's what they want. They want her to get booed. And that's what she did. She stopped the Toni Storm striptease. And that's what this match is going to be. Everything that Toni Storm does that we love, she should be stopping at every moment and milking that in. And she should actually cut a promo and say, you know what? fuck everyone, because I was telling my story about how I almost died and I came back and you didn't give a shit about me. So you know what? This is about me. I'm going to take the title back, and this is going to be my reign right now. She's not going to win. We know that. There are more interesting people down the road. Running back Deonna Purrazzo, I don't know. You would have had to do something else there, and you had to sustain it for a few weeks. I have no idea how that would have worked. I think Deeb is a perfectly good opponent. I think this match is going to be a lot better than people are giving it credit for, especially because Serena Deeb knows how to get heat from people. She has made people care by being a heel, and I think she could do it here. So I think this will be a lot better than people are giving it credit for. I do love Mariah May. I think she's great. She showed out in Ring of Honor. She showed out in AEW. So she's been a great addition to this. And if Britt Baker comes back, you're going to hear the loudest reaction from Kimmy, no matter if she's in Boston doing, I don't know, she's eating beans or going to watch the Sox or something like that. You know, I don't know what the fuck's going on in Boston. So
House of Glory Saturday.
I don't know. I thought they only did Brooklyn, dude. So I mean,
actually, it's Queens, wrong borough.
Fuck it. My family's from the Bronx. I don't give a shit about those boroughs. So, and if I got to
from
eat with
one of
Bronx and Brooklyn, Queens, I don't care. So anyway, I don't have heat with Toto. I respect New Jersey. But yeah. So anyway, is what I'm saying is like if Britt comes back, if this is the Britt react, this will be big. I'm pulling for a Jamie Hayter return. That's what I want to see. Ooh. But if Britt comes back, man, that's going to be good stuff. And I think her and Tony will do, pun intended, big business together.
Yeah, good stuff. Real quick, going to the chat. John Blaine, welcome in. Thanks for joining. Yeah, let us know who you got. Guys, if you're watching, share the stream. We want to hear all your opinions on these matches. Kelvin in the chat saying this match might actually be the show-stealing match, though. Yeah, on the card, it's a way better women's match on paper. Yeah, just in terms of like the actual match itself. Yeah, we kind of looked over that. That's a very fair assessment, Kelvin. Glad to have you in the chat. Let's talk about Jon Moxley versus Takeshita no, it's not, and I do want to talk about this. It's an eliminator match for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Maybe it's me, do you guys feel that it should be, and I know this is the thing they do, but because it's a pay-per-view of this caliber, why are we dancing around it? Should it be, maybe Don Callis worked something out? Should it be for the actual title? That's just something that crossed my mind. No. Maybe I'm nitpicking. Kim, you're on a roll. You got some opinions today. I'm here for it. Well, what do you got on this one?
I've been talking to too many people in this business. That's why I have opinions. So, no, this shouldn't be.
That's
because
fair.
If they can't get anyone from New Japan, this is their out of what Moxley's going to do at Forbidden Door. Because here's your challenger. If they can't get anyone from New Japan, the rumor's NATO. But you don't know anything. You don't know if something could happen between right now and June 30th. Remember the 1 year Forbidden Door had like 10 changes on it. So this is your out in case they can't figure out anything. Yes, Bill.
But on Dynamite at the Fabulous Kia Forum is the Casino Gauntlet match with New Japan talent and AEW talent in the match. So,
well, that's for Swerve's title. That's not for this title.
Is that for Swerve's title?
Yes, it's at the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
I thought it was for Jon Moxley's title. Maybe I was.
To quote you, reading is your friend.
Oh my God.
Oh Kim. Fuck. Well, let me tell you something, kiddo.
Oh no.
Nothing was read. I had to listen to it.
There was a graphic.
So
there was a graphic in the corner.
Don't fucking
pull an attitude with
me.
Kimmy versus Bill on the 0 hour.
She will lose horribly.
Oh,
why? Because there was a graphic in the corner?
Anyway.
All right. Yo, gloves.
Anyway.
I'm about to just leave.
Wouldn't be the first time we've
Anyway, Moxley's obviously going to win, but the reason it's an eliminator, like I said, is this is their out for Forbidden Door.
Okay, fair enough, and I like that you brought that assessment to the table. Bill, did you want to go into who you had winning this one, and do you personally think that it should be for the championship, like instead of an eliminator?
Yeah, I think it should be because I think Takeshita has. You could bring in the Forbidden Door element. You can bring in how he's beaten talent from New Japan. He's beaten talent from DDT. He's beaten talent from Noah. He is more than willing to do this. more than qualified, I should say, to be able to challenge for this title. And shit, New Japan would love to have that guy wrestling on a more regular basis for them. So I think it should be. The reason I think it should be is because they've used the Eliminator way too much in the past 3 months. Like, it has been every match is a fucking Eliminator match. You can't keep doing it. So that's why I just like make it a straight up match. I get what Kimmy's saying. It makes all the sense in the world, but it's very, very repetitive. And so I think like stop leaning on that crutch. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's very well said. People in the chat, heel Bill. I think Bill's a face. He's just
You have no idea what heel Bill could be.
Oh boy, I'm just little intimidated. Frank Knight in the chat. What if Paul Heyman ran AEW? I think Paul would focus on the young guys like he did when he
just signed a new deal with WWE.
Yeah.
Like 3 months ago.
Oh no, that's. I think it was like a hypothetical, but and that's good to know. He's with the E, but yeah, I think if you ran that scenario again, like I wasn't watching back with the ECW stuff, but I've heard enough and listened enough. I think hypothetically he would bring a lot to the table, sure, in AEW. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. That's a great point, Frank. Total with Tom, what do you got on this one? And do you think it should be an eliminator match? Do you think it should be for the title?
If it's non-title match, I have no problem at all with Technetia going over. And I think that's just to build the storyline further. What I think is going to happen is, and I don't know if anyone else has been picking up on this, is Claudio, I think, has been prepping for a heel turn. If you saw his interview at Collision, and if you saw his facial expressions when Moxley was talking, and then Claudio got on and cut the best promo of his entire career, it's almost like they're grooming him for a turn. And I think somewhere along the line, I think that's going to happen because they're really not doing anything with him. He's like a silent assassin. But I think he's getting prepped to do something. And I think that might be a reason why this is non-title. He might get involved. He could cause Moxley to lose. I also thought it was quite interesting that Danielson's getting his ass kicked tonight by everybody and their mother. And both Claudio and Moxley are nowhere to be found. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, what's going on? So,
fair. That's fair. I don't want to get into the heel face thing because it's going to get me in trouble.
I've been watching this shit for over 40 years, so I've seen almost everything.
Yeah, it's. I think you bring up some good points, and like I said, I'm not going to get in the heel face thing because it's getting me in trouble. But and I've also talked about Danielson kind of being with them and separate from them, and that's kind of his thing, man. So I could look at it both ways. I'll put it this way: I've never been able to put my finger on the math behind all that. If they're together, if they're not, they're only sometimes together. If they're sometimes haze, sometimes heel.
It's like the front row mafia,
Here we go.
I'm the leader of it, but those idiots never want to listen to me, and I've decided to start the New World Mafia.
Wait, this is a thing?
Oh, you didn't hear about it?
I had heard some rumors. I got people, man. But
well, that's for another show.
All right, fair enough. Kelvin in the chat saying, yes, stop doing the Eliminator. It's a pay-per-view. Put the belt on the line. I couldn't agree more. And he also says, I would like to see a Claudio turn for sure.
Well,
good
it's also not Tony Khan's decision if the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship's defended. That's the owner of New Japan's decision.
Cool. Fair
point.
It's
not Tony's. So he probably didn't just approve it.
Okay. I guess you're right on that one. Yeah. And if it was Tony's decision, you think he would probably make it for the title, right?
Correct.
But
blame New Japan.
Forbidden Door. So there's more to,
exactly
more to be seen.
All right.
Hey,
and it's in New York.
What do we always get on AEW's case for? Short-term storytelling. Okay. How about we let things breathe for a change? And let's just have one match and be done with the feud. That's why the EVPs have to win in the main event. You're killing the angle if you have AEW go over in the main event on Sunday.
Okay.
Long-term storytelling.
For sure. Yeah. And
you want to sustain your business? Stop with the matches, with the high-flying 25-minute, 50,000 false finishes. No one's finish means anything anymore.
Yeah, I'll disagree with that too. I disagree with that too 100%. I think you could do both.
Well, they're not proving it.
They're
not proving it.
I'm
the
a numbers
show
guy.
That the storytelling WWE is doing is working much better, and the storytelling in the ring too as well.
The storytelling, don't get me started. Because I could just tell you, WWE doesn't tell stories. All they are is an entrance, a theme song everyone wants to sing.
All right.
That it is a finishing move, and then they want to sing the theme song again. That's it.
Well,
That's what WWE is.
there is a
And
lot of
it's,
that, yes.
and
But
that's
there is a lot
90% of the shows I watch.
long-term storytelling and storytelling within the matches. AEW is a continuous spot fest. That's all it is. And to me, the business has been, you know what killed the business? And this is for another show, of course. Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, in my eyes, and back in WrestleMania 25. That was the greatest match that most people ever saw. Everyone's been trying to top it since.
All
Can we
right.
talk about Double or Nothing? Isn't that why
Interesting.
we're
Yeah,
here?
yeah. It's one of those things. And again, and we see it online all the time. It's, and we're not here. We're not comparing two brands. We're not here to do it. We're here to talk about it. And I get what you're saying, man. I certainly have my feelings. Like we always say here, it's flavors of ice cream. Guys in the chat, let us know how you feel. I'm again, like I always kind of say, hey, I'm happy my friends are getting jobs. I'm happy people are getting bigger contracts. I'm happy on Wednesday I can watch this. Tuesday I can watch this. And I was very honest. I said, certain things I'm kind of falling off. There were a couple things tonight that I thought kind of brought me in a little bit. And that's the thing, man. It's our soap opera. You know what I mean? It's our soap opera. I think there's characters that inspire us on both shows. There's like Bill always says, like, why cheer them or why damn them? And I always think about that, man. So it's, yeah, I'm sure one is doing one thing better than the other. And I agree with some of the things you said, Tom. I disagree with some of the other things, and I think that's not to be cliche, but like that's what makes it great. That's why we have these discussions for sure. And guys in the chat, let us know how you feel. How are we feeling about this pay-per-view? Is it a strong pay-per-view? Could they do more? Could there be better challengers for some of the titles? So,
overall, I thought tonight's show was great. By the way, I thought it was a great go-home show. I mean, I think they actually got us ready for the pay-per-view, and I'm really excited to see a lot of these matches. Aside from like a couple things that I was nitpicking on, I think AEW is going down the right direction. I really do. I loved MJF and Adam Cole with their vignettes that they were doing. I mean, that's right out of WWE's playbook. I love Tony Storm. That's right out of WWE's playbook. I mean, the biggest things they've ever had done were taken out of the WWE's playbook.
Yeah. I mean, and again, like, Adam Cole and MJ, I mean, that was one of my favorite storylines for sure. And I'm going to give credit to the performers as, particularly as individuals as well. Like MJF, man, just going back even before in the independents, man, ahead of the curve, ahead of his years for sure. A student of the game, man, and the business as a whole for sure. But some good points here. There, real quick, I want to say there was something that, if you guys can guess along the show, let me know. Guess in the chat. There was something in this particular episode of Dynamite that popped me huge. I love it. If you could think of it, take a guess. But something that popped me huge. All right, we're all over the place. Where are we here? So where are we? On Mox ticket. Do we get everybody?
Yes, we have 7 matches to go.
Let's get it.
You now have to pick another one.
All right, Kimmy, you want to pick? Kimmy, go ahead.
Sure. Let's go with the barbed wire steel cage match for the AEW TNT Championship.
This is Copeland and
Malachi Black.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Malachi doing some singles stuff. I like House of Black a lot, but I like seeing him do the single stuff too. This should be really solid to really good match. It depends what Copeland's willing to give, and I think he's willing to give a lot, man. I could see him asking for this match. I've been a huge Aleister Black fan for a long time. I want to see more Malachi Black. I want to see more singles matches. I want to see more matches like this. I'd almost rather have it without the stipulation, to be honest. But there was they had a little fun with a moment tonight on this one. Kimmy, since you picked it, tell me what you think. I don't know what I think. Kimmy, what do you got?
So I think that this is a must-win for Malachi Black because House of Black is sadly kind of losing their momentum with the loss of Julia Hart. She had shoulder surgery a couple weeks ago. So I feel like, they're not really doing anything. And it certainly shows, Buddy Matthews over here is enjoying his wonderful time with his fiance, Rhea Ripley. Brody King, we saw him a couple weeks ago, but we need more continuous storylines with them. Because Twitter, Rob, gets very upset if Malachi does not have a singles match. Did you know this? Like, Twitter will go on and on and on for weeks that Malachi doesn't get a singles match, which is why I think Malachi is going to win. I think that this title reign will give Malachi kind of the boost that he needs. This is the Malachi that we've all wanted to see since he was signed a couple years ago. I also think, they had the stipulation that if Copeland does lose this match, he has to kind of like, I forgot exactly what it is, but like he has to like go on one knee and like praise the House of
He has to
Black or
bend-
He has to
Malachi.
join them,
He has to bend
Yeah,
the knee to the House of Black.
and he has to join their faction.
Oh, that's right.
yes.
That's right.
So that's why he's gonna win
Yeah.
because of that.
Copy
And the stipulation's awesome.
and paste. Copy and paste.
Oh, that's why you had me go first.
Pretty much. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I didn't know where to go. And I'm here for it. It all makes sense. The title, the momentum, Copeland being a part of it. Don't forget, he was the one who started Judgment Day. He's here to fight the younger talent. He's here to elevate the younger talent. Maybe joining a faction with them, whatever it is. It's win, win, win. Makes a lot of sense. Bill, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, I think Malachi Black has to win the match because Adam Copeland is doing his best Terry Funk cosplay, and I love it because, we had so many people with CM Punk trying to tell us he was Terry Funk, but it's really Adam Copeland who's the one who's doing it. He was who went from being this big superstar and is doing all of these things where he's not afraid to get bloody, he's not afraid to do crazy shit. And I love that. And I think him going to House of Black, I think actually would work really well. I think him and Brody King, and that, like Kimmy was saying, they need something. Well, he's going to elevate that just by his mere presence. And I think him and Brody King as a tag team would be a hell of a thing to do. But most importantly, Malachi Black, I'll say it, he's been a dud since he's been there. He really has not done much. And there's been the injury. There's been him wanting to go to WWE. There's all this stuff behind the scenes. Who knows what's true? Who knows what's false? I don't fucking care.
Kimmy.
But it's honestly like we need him to do something because if you watch that match with Kyle O'Reilly tonight, that's the guy we've been wanting to see. And if that's the guy we're going to get, even Taz said it on commentary, he's like, we need more of this in wrestling. And I think having him is that flavor of ice cream within AEW where you're going to get a Bryan Danielson, a Malachi Black, and then you can also get a Will Ospreay and everyone working on the same levels, but all different styles. And I think that's what's going to be really good. And I think Malachi has to win this one. I think this is going to be real. Like Adam Copeland is going to bleed buckets in this one.
Yeah, very well said. And a lot of strong feelings in the chat as well. A lot of people saying I might cry if Black or Malachi wins this one. Adam Copeland will have my respect for life if he loses this. If keep saying Black, if Malachi loses, we riot. So Edge is a vampire again. Yeah, we'll see what he does with it. We'll see what he does with it. Greek Savage in the chat making his picks. Welcome in. Saying Miro is chilling, getting paid to do nothing. It's a good life. All right. I guess you worked with Miro recently. All right.
He has an injury.
Oh, he has an injury going on? Okay. Well, get well, Miro. We love Miro. Check out our interview with the former Rusev over on the popbreak.com. Miro, get well for sure. Total with Tom. Any thoughts on this one, bro?
Yeah, Malachi Black all the way. I want to see Edge, Copeland.
I know, yeah.
Copeland join up with their group. You kind of got a little bit of it tonight when that big vat of blood hit the ring too. By the way, how did they clean up that ring so fast?
I was like, this is going to be a tough cleanup.
They played like 3 promo videos in between and a commercial break.
Oh, you know what?
Apparently they didn't get Taz clean at all.
Yeah, I'll say this. I'll agree with Total with Tom on that one because I saw like that's a job, man. Like that was a job. Like I know it was more TV time and stuff like that, but
I'm thinking they just pulled the canvas back. They had another one underneath. So.
But still, like the ropes and the floors, the apron, and apparently Taz. Yeah, it was a thing. All right, very very interesting. Yeah, I think this could be a show stealer. I don't like it's a barbed wire cage.
Barbed wire steel cage.
I'd rather it be just straight up, but again,
straight up barbed wire. That's right.
Yeah, just blood. Yeah, right. A lot of blood. Let's talk about this one. I want to talk about. Let's talk Will Ospreay. I put up. What do you guys think the match of 2024 is so far? We're almost in June, and there were pretty much 2 answers across the board. You guys could probably guess what they were. It was the Cody, Endgame ending, the main event at WrestleMania Night 2 versus Roman Reigns. And then it was Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. A lot of people saying that was the best wrestling match they've ever seen, period, ever. And I have not seen that match, so expectations are very high. And shame on me.
Those are two completely different matches.
Sure.
You really can't compare them.
Ice cream. I mean, yeah. They are.
I think people popped for the WrestleMania match more because of all the
it was Endgame
storyline and the intricacies of everything falling into place. You know
what?
But
though?
I'm the one who went on and said it was the best match I've ever seen in my life. Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson.
That was you, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
I had Flair Steamboat from '89 and Landover, Maryland, that most people didn't see because it was a house show. And I had a lot of Kawada and Misawa matches from Japan.
Wow.
That I saw. And sometimes when they tagged up against Van Vader and Bigelow, I mean, those were fantastic matches too. And I wasn't even a biggest fan as people were on the Kawada and Omega matches. I mean, those were good, but the crowd, and I'll be the first to admit it, that crowd did help that match. But the AEW match between Ospreay and Danielson told a beautiful story. It had beautiful wrestling. And the storyline continued after the match into the media scrum. And you do need to watch it, Rob.
I will. And I was just going to say, I'm not entitled to an
I know what I said
opinion
about
because
AEW before, but that was perfection.
For sure.
That was perfection.
Does not have to be mutually exclusive, for sure.
No.
Roddy Strong versus Will Ospreay. Roddy defending his AEW International Championship. To me, I think just do it. Just give Ospreay the title. You know, I don't want to do the whole, Roddy's only had it for so long kind of a thing. It's just give Ospreay everything. I hate to be that guy. Should be a solid match. Another potential show stealer. Bill, am I right on this one? Am I way off base here?
I think you're right. I think he's going to take that title to Uganda, like he said he was, and that's going to be a really cool moment. I think they might actually give him the opportunity to travel a little bit with it too, or Forbidden Door. They could bring in somebody. I think this is going to be a great match. Like Roddy's great. Roddy's always been great. He is Charles Oakley. Like he is never going to be Patrick Ewing. He was never Patrick Ewing. He was never the prolific scorer, but he is the backbone. He is the enforcer. He's Arn Anderson in a lot of ways, so,
yeah.
And that's why he's so great. And if he loses the title, it's fine. It doesn't hurt Roddy Strong one bit.
He can get over still. Yep.
Yeah. All right, Bill, I'm glad you're with me on that one. Toto Watam will throw it to you. Do you think Roddy retains or will Ospreay be elevated?
I mean, he's the biggest star in the company right now, so you could do whatever you want with him. He doesn't need the belt because he's that big of a star with AEW right now. But if you want to throw it on him, that's fine. I just can't wait to see this match because my second favorite match from Revolution, I think that was the AEW show that had Ospreay and Danielson on. My second favorite match was Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly. I mean, that was wrestling. That was pure, brilliant wrestling. I mean, there weren't many high spots. They weren't flying around. Everything was done inside that ring. And I know them being great friends with each other helped because it was chemistry. It was just a great match. Got lost in the shuffle because of the Ospreay match, obviously. Everything got lost in the shuffle. Swerve Strickland wins the title, and it's like a secondary story. You know?
We'll touch on Swerve, but okay, I'm interested to hear your opinions on that and the choice of opponent. We'll get into that as well. All right. We'll see what you got. We'll see what you got on that one. A little.
I'm up in the air. I don't really care either way. Okay. I think it's going to be a great match. I really do. I can't wait for it.
Potential show stealer, but you think Ospreay? If you had to make a pick,
matter.
Doesn't
matter. I think they're both going to get over. You could have it indecisive too. I mean, I don't know. Have someone run in and do something. I mean, have a scrum. I don't know. I'm just saying. For schmoz. Just do something.
All right.
Kimmy,
do you have strong?
I think this is going to be a great match.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. The real winners, the fans, like we always say. Kimmy, what do you got?
For Undisputed Kingdom, they are just trapped, waiting for Adam Cole, and this is the only thing they have going for them because it's not like Wardlow's wrestling.
I was going to say, what do you got for me on Ward? He's not happy on social. He's not a happy camper.
I wouldn't be either if I was him, but that's a whole different story for a whole different day. But yeah, the only thing about Undisputed Kingdom is that I have my Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion showing up every Thursday. It's a miracle. It makes me smile. But I'm fearful. I did pick Will, but I'm very fearful that after this, they're all going to just disappear till Adam decides that he could actually wrestle and his foot is all better.
Okay.
You talk about duds. Undisputed Kingdom, biggest dud of 2024.
I could agree. I mean, it's still early. It's still early. Like, let it play out. Obviously, injuries are a factor. I don't know what's going on with Wardlow. That's where you lose me. That's where you lose me.
I don't think AEW knows what's going on with Wardlow either.
But it's been the hot and cold with him since forever, and I know he's been tweeting some feelings tweets, as we call them. He's been tweeting some old stuff like, "Oh, remember this?" So I don't know. We'll see.
He's the most over guy 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Coming out to no music, just
and
walking to the ring.
Yeah, then MJF had the whole thing. He stole all the thunder from that. Everyone got hurt, so then they had to keep salvaging opponents, and it didn't work. And then when you have 3 mediocre matches against Samoa Joe, maybe you're not as good as we thought you were. That match in Boston wasn't good, and that wasn't Samoa Joe's fault.
Yes.
I don't think he's the type of wrestler that has to go 20 minutes, though. If you build him right.
Yeah, but if you can't hang with a guy like Joe, and that was like a 10-minute match, you got to be able to do more than that. I know you don't have to. Like,
so you think it's his in-ring ability that's holding him back?
I think it's a matter. He was a victim of circumstance in the beginning, and I just think like that magic might just be gone. But sometimes you miss the moment.
True.
Okay. Well said. We got everybody on this one?
Correct.
I'm trying so hard not to get yelled at.
You're doing great.
Oh, thank
We're
you.
halfway there.
Not pandering at all. All right.
I'm smiling.
I'll take it. Kimmy, gloves are off. I'm a little scared of you today.
Wait till we get to Mercedes and Willow.
Let's go to Mercedes and Willow Nightingale for the TBS championship, I believe. No stipulation here. Willow just powerbombed Mercedes through a table. Yeah, you know what?
That pop, man. I love that.
It was a great.
That was great.
It was a great power bomb too. Like kind of off to this. Like I really like the execution on that power bomb. Very great. We love Willow. Obviously seeing her here in the Northeast for a long time. Great to see her with that jetpack as well. Should be a good one. I believe this is Mercedes' first match officially in AEW.
In a year.
In a year. She kind of has to win. She kind of, despite the very heelish stuff we're seeing, whereas when she came in, the song, the sing along portion of the, we were talking about pomp and circumstance and entrance and stuff like that, which is very important. It's theater, but that came off very face like for a face, to me. So. Now, we kind of see her being more of a heel, which works.
I fucking love you, Rob. You're the best.
I'm making up. This is why you're the editor. It's got to be Mercedes. You can't go any other way here. I don't know. I just feel like it's almost like she was in limbo, even though she's back. Like she was in limbo. Like I don't know how to describe that.
She was.
She needs to get something going here. Maybe it's a title run with the TBS championship. Total with Tom, I'm all over the place. Help me out here.
I mean, I want Willow to win, and I'll be rooting for Willow, but the smart money is on Mercedes.
It's boss time. That's it. Simply put, Kimmy,
it's not boss time anymore. Literally for legal reasons.
For legal. Yes, that's fair. Kimmy, what do you got?
My problem is not Willow losing. My problem is the people that are trying to say that this should main event and that this match should be the first women's main event. Because this is not the first women's main event. And I will give you 3 reasons why. One of them is biased, but the 2 of them are actually good. The first one, this is for the mid-card women's championship. Are you trying to tell me that AEW is going to have their first women's pay-per-view main event be the mid-card women's championship? So all that lineage that you had for the World Heavyweight Championship, where for years people trashed it. People said that Tony Khan didn't know how to book women. Then he started booking them in Ring of Honor. Oh shit! Tony Khan knows what he's doing. So you want to go backwards? Have the mid-card title do it. No. Second one, like we said, this is Mercedes' first match. Now, in WWE, when people come back, and even in AEW, they wrestle on TV to get the ring rust out. Mercedes hasn't had that opportunity. So you're going to put that much pressure on her in the main event, and then the match is going to suck. Because the Mercedes that you saw in New Japan, the Mercedes you saw in WWE, she's not having that in her first match. It's going to take weeks to get that. Will is going to carry her in this match, and that's no offense to Mercedes. That's not affecting her ring ability. I'm saying that because your first match back from injury is never good. And maybe she proves me wrong, but that's a fact. All athletes are like that. It's not even wrestling, football, basketball, baseball, same thing. It takes you weeks. It takes you scrimmages, it takes you games. That's why this shouldn't be an event. Because everyone's going to sit there and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, Mercedes has all this power, which is right. That's why she's going to win. Oh man, the match sucked because Mercedes, she's not ready yet. No shit. That's why it's not going to main event. This match should open the show. 100%. My third biased reason, you really think that Britt Baker, who was the first main event for Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision, the only woman to do that, is not going to be in the first women's AEW main event? You've got to be freaking kidding me. Tony's waiting. That first women's main event's going to be Mercedes and Britt. Sorry, not sorry. Mercedes is going to win this match because, like she said a couple weeks ago, she's throwing the first pitch out at the Boston Red Sox game. She's sitting courtside at the Boston Celtics game. Listen, Rob, you can boo all you want.
I'm booing the Red Sox, just the Red Sox. That's the only one.
I know. She's walking the red carpets. Publicity. Money. This is a business. Tony Khan, 2024, has showed it's business time. That's why he hired all these people. That's why he announced the Texas dates. Because it's a business now. He realized it after 5 years. Wow. That's why Mercedes is winning. And she's going to have a long-ass title reign for the TV deal, for the publicity. So people know AEW is where the best wrestle. So people know to watch AEW. It's a true contender to WWE.
Kimmy, I don't know what. I think I kind of like this Kimmy. The gloves are off. She's not holding back. She's going for all the sound bites. Let's be real. Okay, Kimmy. All right.
I've never been a soundbite on this show in the 3 years I've been here. I'm trying very hard.
No receipts are ever kept.
Yeah. Well, first of all, yeah, you're right. Especially in this business. Well, look, you didn't sing. Bill always sings, right? We didn't have a lot of.
I was usually drunk.
CM Punk rants, right? We didn't have any Randy Orton rants. Kimmy had some rants today. Speaking of rants, Bill, did we get to you on this one yet? No.
You didn't get to me this one yet. The reason Mercedes is going to win is because Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway are going to turn heel on Mercedes, and should align herself with the elite. She's the CEO. She's already tweeted positively towards them, and guess what? Kimmy's right. If you're going to talk money, if you're going to talk business, why the hell would you not have the most recognizable face in your company be aligned with your top heel group?
You're right.
You've never had a woman aligned with the top heel dudes to be a top heel. And now they control all divisions. Tom talked about the NWO. This is the NWO. They run everything. And don't be surprised if Mercedes surrounds herself with her own four horsewomen. She won't call them that for obvious reasons. But having Statlander there and recruiting whomever, you have a bunch of women who are on the sidelines right now, whether it's Camille, whether it's Megan Bain. Shit, Sheeta's doing nothing right now. There's so many people she could pull from.
Jamie Hayter.
And she can make that happen. Well, Jamie Hayter, we don't even know what the hell's going on with her injury-wise. And by no way would she be a heel. She would have to be a face coming back. The fans would not accept her as a heel. They love her too much, I think. And I think that's how you go. Mercedes goes over here.
I'm glad you went first because I didn't want to go to the chat. Because Calvin had it. He had Statlander's turning Willow by DQ. In the chat, Mueller checking in and saying Kimmy spitting fire. Yeah,
wait,
I agree.
Me and Mike agree. That's how you know it's bad.
I don't know what's going on here today. It's a full
Cats
moon.
and dogs.
How about Ty Conti? She should be due back soon.
She'll be a long
just
time.
Returned to the ring a month ago. So no, not yet.
No. When did Mercedes return to the ring?
Well, Ty Conti had a baby.
No, I get
No,
it.
we
I'm
know,
just
we
saying.
know.
You were talking about ring rust, so
Well, she
she's had
just
a
started
month.
training.
Well, I
Like,
mean,
I'm not saying she has to wrestle. All I'm saying is that she has to get involved somehow.
yeah,
We're not
no.
asking her to do 20 minutes. We're asking her to cause interference and then be a pillar sitting behind Mercedes Monet. You know what I'm
It wouldn't
saying?
make sense storyline wise. She'll probably come back and team
Well,
with Anna and then take on Mariah and the Stardom girl.
well, you can make it work story wise. You can always do it.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Like, especially if they are going to get cute with this, because Kimmy, you did have the point at the beginning, like, they might be pulling out all the stops here, so there might be something.
It's in Vegas. The pay-per-view is called Double or Nothing. Money.
Fair enough.
Money talks. Money wins.
Bill-
Mercedes says that.
I think Bill had a very good point, and I was nodding my head. I think Mercedes aligning with the elite or the EVPs or whatever, I see it. And I like it a lot. I think that's a good play right there. Let's talk about the FTW Championship. Now, I believe it is actually on the line, right? It's going to be Shibata versus Jericho versus Hook. We saw the storyline going on with Hook and Jericho. I have no idea where to go on this one. Do you guys feel the FTW Championship, I don't know, I don't want to say it should be defended, the legitimacy of it, or are they making it more than it was? I'm choosing my
Jericho
words
needs
very
to go on a
carefully.
6-month tour with Fozzy. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, you're over it? Go ahead, Kimmy.
The crowd every week says retire and get off my TV.
All right.
That means something. Jericho will win because triple threats in wrestling happen to protect people. So Jericho's gonna pin Shibata to then lead to Hook versus Jericho at Forbidden Door in New York, where Hook is from.
Dang. Can I copy and paste again?
Wow, two in a row from me.
I mean, you can, but take a drink, everybody.
I have no idea where to go. Total Tom, what do you got?
Oh, I love Jericho. He's on my Mount Rushmore. I mean, he can't do anything wrong in my eyes, and fans can be stupid sometimes.
I take it you have Chris Jericho.
Sure.
Yeah? All right. Chris Jericho. Short and sweet. Bill, are we going anywhere but Chris Jericho to retain here?
And in an alternate demented Bill Bodkin universe, Shibata lets Hook win. But I know they're going to do more here. I mean, they injected Samoa Joe into this. So there's going to be something with Joe and Hook here, which would pay off an old school angle where Taz used to manage Samoa Joe. Jericho, I agree, he's overstayed his welcome and needs to go away. But at the same time, just to freshen things up, because this is what he does. But at the same time, he's gotten the fucking learning tree over. He has, and people are starting to eat it up again. And he's going to keep winning. And I think what's going to happen, as Kimby said, it's going to be in New York. And Taz is going to get involved. Taz will do something, like he'll choke him out or something, or he'll punch him. And maybe that's when Taz goes away after that because he needs to get surgery. So Taz might just be like, this is the thing I'm going to do. This is my last kind of in-ring moment type deal. And then he walks away from AEW for a while because he has to get necessary surgery. And then you bring Nigel onto Dynamite or Ian Riccaboni. I mean, they're both awesome. So I have no problem with either of them joining the team. So yeah, I definitely think it's going to be Jericho in this one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Jericho all around to retain here. Some very interesting points. All right, I'm getting towards the end here, so this is where I get yelled. Thank you, Kimmy, and that is going to include we got the
two title matches and a grudge match.
Yeah, there's 10 matches and 7 are for titles. Can we please with all these titles? It's ridiculous.
There are a lot of titles.
Well, 2 of them aren't being defended on the card.
I know, and 7 out of the 9 matches were for the titles. They just added the other one tonight, but it's a lot of title matches.
So the next one.
What am I missing? What am I missing? Because I just went through
let's
my
go
whole
with
Death Triangle.
Let's go with a straight up wrestling match, and it's a grudge match. It's Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. Now, Rob, do you have any opinions on this match?
I do.
All right, let's hear from him, pal.
It's gonna be, we had the Kyle O'Reilly match with Roddy. this is going to be that, just in terms of the chemistry and the knowing each other, the dance partners. You can be great dance partners on either side of the ring, whether they're standing together or across from each other. It's going to be a great match. The story, again, I don't want to be this guy, but the story, famous last words, but it was quick. It's just quick. I get it. It was inevitable. They were together forever. So it's 5 years. Like, all right, we got to have the turn. One guy. Is Chuck not healthy for real?
No, he is actually
Legit.
officially retiring.
That sucks.
Confirmed by my bestie pal, Sean Ross Sapp.
Well,
he's
Still fucked.
severely fucked up. Yeah,
that sucks, man. Well, you know what, man? Maybe an agent, maybe a
he is.
coach.
That's what he's doing.
Oh, is he
Training
really?
to be a producer.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, well, that's a positive. Well, yeah. All right. Well, that sucks to hear, but and maybe he'll play a role in a non-physical manner or something. Maybe there'll be a minivan. I don't know. We'll see what happens. The match is going to be great. I felt it was just very quick. I just felt it was very, very quick and kind of like, all right, they were a team and now they're turning it back on each other. But them actually fighting is going to be awesome. That's just how I feel. I'm going to give it to Trent. I think Orange is going to put him over. Bill, I see you nodding.
Yeah, so I'll disagree with this just happened. This storyline has been building for quite some time. It's been building since when Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley main evented. And this is like, it was Orange was kind of acting weird around everyone where he didn't need his best friends to come down to the ring. And there has been slowly but surely, Trent has always been the one where he's been taking the most offense to it. You can see he's getting the most pissed off by it. And then he finally broke. And that's why the whole thing of this guy's an egomaniac. He just used us to get into AEW because Chuck and Trent were AEW originals. Orange Cassidy, people forget, was the manager. He was the mascot of the Best Friends. He didn't wrestle until 2021. No, sorry, 2020 when he debuted against Pac. Like, that was his big pay-per-view debut. And so he didn't do much for them. So he's saying, you've rode my coattails this long. And then it's not unlike the Swerve Mogul Embassy thing. It's just like, you used us to get someplace and then you forget about us. And so that's why that's been happening. And I do think I agree with you, Rob. I do think Trent wins. And I think this has been one of AEW's better storylines because people fucking hate Trent. They're booing the shit out of him. And it's not like, book it off my TV screen. It's, how could you have taken Chuck out? How can you have turned on your best friends? People loved Best Friends as a group. So, Total with Tom, let's go to you.
Yeah, I agree 100%. The storyline has been continuous, and I think in order to keep this thing going, you got to have Trent win.
Sure.
And last but not least, Kimmy.
Nope. So if you remember a lot of his international title wins, Orange would basically get with the roll-up, like a quick one.
Because the hand.
And so that's what's going to happen here. Chuck is also going to get involved like by something small. Like he'll like be there, do like whatever. But the Don Callis thing is going to be fake, and Don Callis and Trent Beretta are going to be aligned together. And Don was just trying to get in Orange's head to try to help Trent.
You're probably
Orange
right.
So
So you're
Orange
saying
will get
Orange
beat down
win.
after the match.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Orange wins, and then Trent's gonna beat him down. Then Don Callis is gonna come out and Orange gonna think, "Oh, Don is helping me." Ha, psych! I told Trent to do that.
You're probably right. This is just where I'm like, you went from one faction to like. Trent is a great wrestler. Like he's really, really good.
Technically, with the loss of Will Hobbs, they need someone else in the Don Callis family, especially because most likely after this pay-per-view, Will's also leaving the Don Callis family and going on his own.
Yeah.
And that was very evident tonight when the people that Don Callis were managing were beating up Will Ospreay.
Okay. Interesting. All right, you're probably right too. In the chat, Trent for the win. He needs the win. He's also very underrated. Yeah, I agree. Hell of a wrestler. He's going to show up, show out in this one for sure. And it sucks that Chuck can't wrestle anymore. Yeah, for sure, man. But I'm sure he will play some role in this one for sure. And now we have the mystery match. Oh, it's Death Triangle. What is it?
Correct. It's Death Triangle versus the Bang Bang Gang for the Trios Championship. The Death Triangle are finally all back together again after Pac was so depressed for 3 weeks about it.
Yeah. I've been critical of Death Triangle. Phoenix is my favorite. Love Pentagon. I've been critical of it, but it's still going. It's still going strong. They have held those trios
Yes,
championships.
they have. They won it after the Elite had to vacate it after the brawl out.
Yeah, after Brawl. Wow, that takes me back. I got nothing. I don't know where to go. I just want to see the Acclaimed again, honestly. Toto with Tom, what do you got?
That's not happening anytime soon.
Now, is this on the pre?
No, this is on the main card.
Okay. Are there matches for the pre-show?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Hey, it's gonna be exciting, right? I guess I got to go with Pac because he's reuniting with his pals again.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how much further can you take it with the Bang Bang Gang. And again, I've given those guys their flowers. They're great. I know a lot of people, and again, I'm not educated enough, but I know a lot of people are like, hey, this is what you're doing with Jay White. A lot of people aren't happy about that, since coming to AEW. So I'll say maybe so he can kind of break out back to single stuff again. Although I didn't love his promos against the MJF. But I got to see more. I just have to see more. I'm not entitled to a full opinion here. But I'll say, yeah, I'll go Death Triangle. But they've held it hard. I'll go Death Triangle to get it. This is not with a lot of conviction here. Bill, what do you got?
I say the Bang Bang Gang retains the title. One, they've got one of the best fucking theme songs in all of wrestling right now. I love that. Also, I know people hate what they're doing with Jay White. Jay White made have been a pay-per-view not long ago. And then he's on TV every single week. And it seems like he's getting, like, listening to the reaction Bakersfield was giving him. There was a lot of babyface pops in there. And I'm just like, could we see them turning him babyface down the road, going against the Elite? Why not? I wouldn't hate it. Okada and Jay White mixing it up. The Guns, who I think are very underrated. We forget that they're pretty good at what they do.
Very good.
I think that's going to be a thing. So, I mean, I think the Bang Bang Gang is going to retain. I do think one of the big reclamation projects AEW needs to do in a complete sidebar here is they need to rebuild the mid card, and especially with Penta and Phoenix, and just get them back where they belong.
Agree, Kimmy.
It'd be nice if Jay White and the Guns could show up on the other show that they're tag team champs on, because they haven't shown up since winning those titles. Ever. The only Ring of Honor appearance they made was that Supercard of Honor. They have not showed up.
That was an awesome match, too.
Which is why they should show up a little bit more. I'd appreciate it. But we're not talking about that. So the Bang Bang Gang is going to win because we have to remember we're waiting for Juice Robinson. They're not going to break this team up until we get Juice back. I haven't heard anything about him, but I feel like if not this weekend, maybe a Forbidden Door. But Bang Bang Gang's gonna win, and then the Guns are gonna like cheat to lead to another match down the line. They're gonna like hit Phoenix with the belt or something. This isn't gonna be clean.
No.
Okay. Good point, Kimmy. You're on fire tonight. Really great job. All right, is it main event time now, Kimmy?
Yes, it is the main event. It is Swerve Strickland versus Christian Cage. Why?
Yeah, I go ahead, Kimmy. I kind of agree with you. Where are you going with this? Go ahead.
So I understand why storyline wise, and I understand that, okay, maybe we didn't really have anything for Swerve, or maybe we did have something for Swerve, and because of an injury it didn't work out. But like I said earlier, I was asked to go to Vegas. They announced this match. I was like, no, because I don't want to sit in Vegas and watch this match. I hope that this isn't the main event. I'm hoping it's Anarchy in the Arena, because Anarchy in the Arena main evented last year, so I'm just going to assume that's going to be the last match. Swerve is obviously going to win here, and I think this is where we see Hangman Adam Page confront him after the match is over, and then he'll enter that Casino Gauntlet match on Dynamite.
Kimmy's saying a lot of things that I think might actually play out. Total with Tom, what do you got on this main event?
Or MJF, one or the other.
Ooh. Total with Tom, what do you got on
I
this
don't know
one?
who's going to show up, but I know you got to keep the belt on Swerve. You just can't, take it off him. And this is just a stopgap storyline for him till something further comes down the road.
Okay. Yeah. Christian's an interesting opponent. Bill, do you want to take it home, or you want me to go first? Or you want to go?
I'll take it home.
You take it home, so I'll go first then. Christian is an interesting opponent for this. It's a solid opponent, solid heel. By the way, my pop of the night was Nana driving the SUV, cutting off the car, and just the coffee sip got me like sort of when you drive. But like that was like, so I put on Twitter, someone please make a GIF of this because that's going to be used for everything. Brilliant. That popped me so bad. Like more of this, please. Brilliant. It's the little things, man. It really is. Great job by Nana, although you kicked my girlfriend. But that being said, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Christian's an interesting opponent here. I love what he's doing with Nick Wayne and Nick Wayne's mom. It's great. I'm a huge fan of Killswitch. You guys know that already. It's one of those things, like, I don't want to say he's not the right opponent because it's like, then who? You know what it feels like? It goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's like, is this their, I don't want to say WrestleMania because I don't want to compare the two, but like, is this their big show? I just feel like maybe
Wembley's
it should.
The big show.
Wembley, now Wembley is it, and as it should be. So you think Hangman Swerve at Wembley?
I don't know. I originally was going to say Ospreay, but if he's going to hold
Ospreay.
this
You're
title,
right.
but
That's
he's
what I
holding
was
this
thinking.
title,
Yep.
So I don't know anymore.
That's all right. Good problems to have.
It's a smart play too because Christian losing, he doesn't take. It's no big deal for him to take an L in this.
No,
He's so over. Yeah. He's perfect for this. He's a veteran. He's going to have a good match. He's going to put Swerve over.
Yeah.
It's great booking, I think, to having Christian be in this match.
I think it's a safe. It's like
safe,
Vicky dating me. It's a safe
and he's
pick.
Like Teflon at this point.
Motherfucker, that was your best self-deprecating joke I've ever heard. Well done.
Thank you, Bill.
Well
it's a safe pick. I'm glad I popped you. That's all that matters. It's a safe pick, and I think you're right, Tom. I'm not disagreeing with you. It's going to be a great match, great work rate. It makes sense. It's the right opponent. I guess I wanted something more. I don't know if there's more to pick from. I don't know. It's like Kimmy even said, hey, I was invited to go. I'm just because of this, I'm not going to go. And that, like, again, flavors of ice cream is just not for you. For me, more. I'm a fan of Swerve, fan of Nana. He deserves that championship. I'm not going to bring up the adversity thing. I'm not going to do that whole struggle thing because I don't want to get Bill started, but I don't know.
It's not worth it.
It's a safe pick. It'll be a solid match. Maybe selfishly, I want more. Bill,
and
take us.
He doesn't get hurt by it. Yeah. There are other people you could put in that match who, if they lose, they never get back up to that level. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to happen to Christian.
Yeah,
Christian's already at that level.
If I could think of another opponent, like if I had, hey, it should be this guy, then I think I would have a fair argument. I'm trying to be fair here, but I don't know who it would be. I mean, Hangman, but he's not even here right now. So, right. But that was our match of the year. Bill, floor is yours.
Yeah. So, yeah, if I was offered like free tickets to Vegas to see this match, I'd be like, sure thing, buddy, I'll go. But I don't, I'm not an international traveler, man. So, but I think this is going to be really good. I think this was the right guy. And I thought they played up a lot of stories that went through. The Nick Wayne stuff was great. If you remember, he's like what he did to Nick. He embarrassed in front of his dad's gym. All the stuff that kind of paid off and played to Swerve's villainous past and stuff he's going to have to tap into later on when he fights Hangman. So, who was also on the side of his trunks tonight. He was wearing those trunks from the death match. So I think this is going to be a hell of a fight. I think this is going to go on the middle of the show, as Swerve tends to be in the middle of the show. And I think this is going to be a hell of a fight. And obviously Swerve's going to come up, and he's going to come up roses, and he's going to win this one.
Yeah, I already picked my lock of the night, but I mean, if I were to get another one, it would be this one. Real quick before I get the shameless promo in, and great job. Thank you guys for staying up. Be sure to follow the show on YouTube and at bcp-plus.com. Real quick, Kelvin saying 2 major companies, 2 major mistakes. Great title chases with no setup for the aftermath. Interesting. Yeah, we'll see how this all plays out for sure. And thank you guys for joining. Don't forget, tomorrow we have our WWE King and Queen of the Ring predictions panel. We'll be doing that. I will be on the USDN podcast. We'll be talking X-Men 97, so check them out. Follow them on all their socials and platforms. Total with Tom, anything else you want to plug? I know you plugged Total with Day.
I want to say one thing
Please.
first. Do you keep a running total of how everyone does with their predictions and just show them from, show to show?
I do not. I mean,
that would be something to do, right? I want to see, what the records are. I
am
you're
a stats guy.
Below 500, Rob. I think Bill would be over 500.
Barely.
Kimmy might be, I don't know, somewhere in between.
That's fair.
I think Kimmy's got the highest batting average of all of us.
I would say that's fair. Yeah. I started hot. When I started the show, I was lockstep with everything, and then I just fell off. I just fell right off.
Intern, whoever's working with you, to start, tabulating.
That's it.
I'm not losing the match. I'm going undefeated.
Oh, going undefeated. Total with Tom with a statement out of the gate. You're
gonna have to watch this again to see what all the picks I made were.
All right, fair enough. Total with Tom, thank you for joining, man. Appreciate you. We'll see you over at Total with Day. Kimmy, you got lots of stuff to promote. What do you got for us?
So you could keep track of me and Bill's predictions on our Team Kimmy versus Team Bill.
Oh, there you go.
Pop break that I sent to him like 3 hours ago. It's updated. All for you. You also have the King and the Queen predictions because I'm going 5-0 with that because WWE, you're so predictable. My God, why? But yeah, I write other stuff. I'm going on the Tony Khan media call tomorrow. I got to come up with a Ring of Honor question to yell at that man about like I do for everything because I'm the only one of 5 people that care. I actually made a group chat. It's called ROH Therapy. Wow. It's with me and all my Ring of Honor friends.
Ask him if he's doing the Destroyer on the apron.
No, because he won't answer that. I'll get a better answer if I ask him about Britt. What else? I'm going to Hog this weekend. We're in Queens on Friday and then Boston on Saturday. Then I'm going to Aruba on a non-wrestling vacation. This is a very big deal. Usually when I leave, something bad happens in the wrestling world. So it honestly does. Me and Ella were talking about this. Every time I go on vacation, something bad happens. So kind of scared. And then I'm going to Florida 5 days later and I'm working with Ultimate Stars, Bull Nakano, making her first convention appearance since being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. JR, Allie, Sky Blue, Mariah May, Trish is going to be there, Sting, McFoley. So if you're in the Florida area, go check that out. And then June 1st, stay tuned. We got big things coming.
Hey, hyping it up. What's the main at Hog? Anything good going on at Hog?
Ali's going to be there Saturday in Boston.
That's awesome. I love that.
Very cool. Riddle's going to be there Friday. I don't know if that's a big thing, but it's something.
Okay. It's something. Bill, what do you got?
Check out thepopbreak.com. Been doing this every day for the last 15 years. Of course, like I said, you can see Kimmy and all her prolific work. Has been the most well-read author on the Pop Break the last 3 months running straight. Top 3 every month except for last month where I got the one time I wrote about WWE in the last 5 years and I get in there. But Kimmy's been killing it over there. Of course, Rob has a ton of stuff, a lot of great interviews up there, whether it was Rusev or Kurt Angle or Ernie Hudson, you name it, it's up there. And the guy from Bowling for Soup, whose name I don't remember. Awesome. But I am check out thepopbreak.com. Like I said, every single day we're at the Pop Break on all forms of social media except for YouTube, where you can find all of Kimmy's Media Scrum videos, and that is at popbreak.com, all spelled out. As for me, I am the co-host of the Socially Distanced podcast with BCP alum Amanda Rivas. You can check that out every single Friday on Socially Distanced on all your favorite streaming platforms. I am the Bill and the Bill versus the MCU, a Marvel first watch and rewatch podcast, as well as co-host of the TV Break podcast. You can find both of those on the Pop Break feed on all your favorite streaming platforms. And Rob, take us home because my computer battery
you work for a living too, Bill?
I have a full-time job. I am a father and I am a husband. I own a dog, and I'm also the vice president of the board of trustees of the Daily Target, the official student newspaper of the Daily Target.
Kudos to you.
Listen, I try as my foot is just completely on fire and in pain right now.
I would be remiss, Rob, if I didn't say that next Wednesday will be the inaugural show of ISPW Weekly. It'll be on the YouTube channel for ISPW. It'll be a weekly show starting at 7 o'clock. It'll be a live show, half hour long. We're going to pull back I'm not going to say we're going to pull back the curtain. We're going to have a good time with a lot of the ISPW wrestlers, and hopefully we'll have you involved with it in some way too, Rob.
Happy to help, as long as we know who number one is every week on the top 10. We all know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guys, checks in the mail. Guys, thanks for staying up, guys. And like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive, take care of each other. We out. Peace. BCP is brought to you by our favorite store, Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, located in the Englishtown Flea Market in New Jersey from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays, and online at FunkensteinWrestlingSuperstore.com. Get your favorite wrestling merch, retro video games, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe, so much more. It's our favorite store. Thank you, Heather and Dan, for sponsoring the BCP. Also got to welcome back our sponsors, the No Gimmicks Podcast, the podcast that keeps it 100% real 100% of the time. Check out our guy Kelvin, only on the No Gimmicks Podcast. Wrestling All Day, All Night is the best wrestling discussion group on Facebook. We provide more of a community feel here, and have wrestling fans introduce other fans to something they may not have seen before, such as old school wrestling, indie wrestling, Japanese wrestling, and so much more. We also strive to be a source of information regarding upcoming wrestler meet and greets and signings. And remember, we're open 24/7, all day, all night. Be sure to follow on socials and join the group on Facebook at Wrestling All Day, All Night. Welcome back our sponsors, Sweet Chin Musings. Sweet Chin Musings is the creation of the reigning, rarely defending, highly disputed champion of wrestling podcast, Mr. Perfect, Mike Mueller, and his tag team partner in crime, Luke Kudialis. SCM focuses on the in-ring product of WWE and AEW, no dirt sheet rumors here, as well as backstage news, predictions, and analysis of characters, storylines, and major pay-per-views. Old school fans, don't worry, we have you covered as well, with a look back on classic matches, top 10 lists, and interactive tournaments that let the fans decide who is truly the best of all time. You can find them at Facebook at Sweet Chin Musings, and check out the podcast on all major podcast platforms. Please welcome back our sponsors on the BCP Plus and the podcast, GPW Productions. GPW provides your promotion or event with top-tier video, audio production, live streaming, and more. I can personally vouch for them in saying they are hands down the best production company I've ever worked with, as they have and continue to work with the likes of AEW, GCW, StarCast, MLW, not to mention the majority of the local independent promotions here in the tri-state area. They can even help you film a vignette or promo for your persona or gimmick. And guess what? GPW doesn't just work in wrestling. No, they cover MMA, boxing, basketball, or any other sporting event as well. On a personal note, I'd like to thank Mike Sesko, Frank León, Oneil Andrews, and the team for giving me multiple opportunities to work with them and some of the best talent in the world. Thank you, GPW, and guys, book GPW for your promotion or event today at contact@gpwproductions.com. Please welcome back one of our favorite podcast sponsors, Key Nation, featuring our very own BCP and BCP Plus contributor, Mr. Wayne Keener. Make sure to follow Key Nation on TikTok and Instagram for great puns, memes, dad jokes, and random ridiculous content. Thank you, Wayne, for sponsoring the BCP. Don't forget to check out one of our newest sponsors here on the BCP, Chop City Wrestling. Chop City Wrestling is where our pal Ryan Steniford takes chops from wrestlers and donates $20 to Connor's Cure for every chop he takes. Follow his adventures on his YouTube channel for all those chops and some great pro wrestling content, all for a good cause. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and thank you, Ryan, for sponsoring the BCP. Please welcome in our new podcast sponsor, From the Left Side. From the Left Side has all of your wrestling and sports news. Check out From the Left Side at facebook.com/From the Left Side with On Air E, and be sure to hit that follow button. Thank you, From the Left Side. Please welcome back one of our favorite sponsors, Mania Club. Established in 2015, Mania Club is a WWE recognized community for fans with an eclectic love for both the world of professional wrestling and raising money for Connor's Cure. During WrestleMania weekend, we host the official tailgate of WrestleMania while also celebrating the life of Connor McCollum. They are the single largest donor within the V Foundation for Connor's Cure, with over $150,000 raised. Please donate and join the Facebook group over at Mania Club on Facebook. Donate at jimmyv.org/Mania Club. Please welcome back our returning sponsor for the year of 2024, Bree Combination Wrestling, celebrating their 7-year anniversary on Sunday, June 9th, 2024, at 106 Bergen Ave, Ridgefield Park, the Mecca here in New Jersey. Doors 4 p.m., bell 5 p.m. Get your tickets now at anni7.eventbrite.com. Guys, please welcome in our new pod sponsor for the months of May and June, J. Adam Photography. Jay provides quality, artistic, innovative photography with a quick turnaround time. Be sure to check out his latest ISPW wrestling pics and much more stellar content. Right now, wrestlers can do a special portrait shoot with Jay in Sparta, New Jersey for just $50. Contact Jay at Jay Vogel on Facebook and be sure to follow him across socials. Thank you, Jay, for sponsoring the BCP. Guys, let's welcome in our new pod sponsor, Cooper Groove Grips. When you play Cooper Groove drumsticks, you get increased sensory feedback from your hands so your grip will naturally loosen, but you have complete control. With that taking place, you don't have fatigue and soreness, which can lead to long-term issues. Guys, as a drummer, Cooper Groove is my drumstick of choice. Sweaty hands aren't a problem. Grip is good. Don't forget to check out their amazing Cooper Groove bats coming out soon. Guys, follow at Cooper Groove Grips on Facebook.